about being an old man.
Don't say anything wrong.
Things that are wrong.
You know what I was going to go around doing? Asking people questions about American history.
Go for it. There you go.
No. I already started, and it was just bad.
Give me one.
You a question? They're basic questions. Like, how many states do we have?
50.
Can you name all 13 colonies?
Yes.
Let's hear them.
Georgia, Carolina, which was one. Virginia,
It's just one.
Maryland, Boston. No, Massachusetts. Sorry. How many are we at now?
We're at 5.
5. I said Maryland
Nope, said
already.
that.
New York. Did I say Virginia already?
You already said Virginia.
Okay, New York,
We're at-
Connecticut, New Hampshire, Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania was 1.
Well, how many I got left?
You got 4 left.
I don't know.
DJ's cool, moms. Let's run ice cream. Bitches, let's run ice cream. Let's run ice cream. Bitches, let's run ice cream. Let's run ice cream. Bitches, let's run ice cream. Let's run ice cream. Bitches, let's run ice cream.
We just got done with qualifying practice. is. Car is feeling better than it ever has. Feeling really consistent out there. Smooth, flowy. Car is super responsive of where I want it. And just feeling good mentally today. Just kind of in my own zone and just talking with my teammates and just hanging out. It feels good. So we're looking to going into qualifying and doing what we've been doing all day.
All right, here comes Ryan Literal. Flying that RB flag. RB Army flag. The power stop. Speaking of stop, comes to a stop mid-track. So unfortunately that will be an incomplete. Send him to the bottom 8. The bottom 8 in the power stop GT Radial S15.
I think we're going to end up doing the pedal box sooner than we want because we don't need to have a linear pot there. Now it's stretching out, which scares me. And it should be a rotary pot, like a Tilton box would have a rotary pot there that's never going to do this. So I'm going to work on figuring out how to make that correct now.
Getting over an 80 would, so if you get an 81, you're going to be in. So, because right now we have Reader has an 85, Burkett has an 80, Robbins has an 80, and Castro is on the bubble with a 79. So, you want to get 80 or better. Well, if you want to lock it in, get an 81.
Have we had this kind of tension recently?
Not to this degree. We've had a few spots, but not this many going home. Yeah. So it builds, it mounts. Here we go, Ryan Literal, who has an incomplete. He needs to throw it down. The pressure mounts, goes into that first outside zone. The power stop breaks. GT Radial S15, great looking car. And now into that second outside zone. Digs deep, shreds that back bumper. The pressure mounts. It's lit. It's literally Ryan Literal into that last outside zone. That very well could have done it, but Castro currently sits in the bubble. He's watching, biting his fingernails. And now keep in mind, again, Literal with an incomplete, and we have one more driver left. Let's see, let's look at it again here, Ryan.
Well, taking a look at the initiation, relatively aggressive, stays in the zone. Maybe could have been in there a little bit longer and a little bit deeper, and same for outside zone 2. You notice he moves deeper towards the latter part of that zone, showing a little bit of inconsistency there overall, but you got to applaud him for this approach on the final outside zone. Carried a lot of momentum, slowed it down with the angle, and was able to stay in that zone for a pretty good amount of time. Here's that first outside zone, goes high and then comes low off of the zone. The transition there, not super dynamic. Try not to make any big mistakes, but he does need to get an 80 to more or less lock it here. Is this an 80 run from Ryan Literal? Our second to last driver here in the bottom 8, trying to stay in competition, move on into the top 32. Very, very tense.
What do we got? Does Literal get it done? An 80 and 80.
Wow.
So there are 3 drivers with 80, and again, according unofficially right now, so we go off style, then it goes to angle. Wow, so I believe that, again, unofficially would knock out Castro at a 79, because right now, 3 80s and an 85 by Reader. Again, all unofficial as of right now.
So we just got we just got done with qualifying. It was super stressful. We went out for my first run, entered into the first corner, throttle cut out.
So,
Hold on. So I had that happen earlier. I love you, Beth. Hold on.
yeah,
So I had that happen earlier. I think it was earlier today or it was yesterday.
today.
It was today.
That was yesterday.
It's today.
It was today. It was today or yesterday. And same thing happened in practice. We dug into it. It didn't throw any codes, any faults, anything like that. And then when we came back after our qualifying run, Dustin dug into it. Why don't you talk about what you found?
So, what has presumably happened is that the pedal box is moving in a fashion that moves the potentiometer that reads the throttle pedal. And so what happened is we moved in an opposite direction than, so it wasn't reading like a low end, it was reading a super high end, right? So we were getting 106% throttle, which is pretty impressive, I'm proud of you. But the issue you have
I
when
usually
that
beat
happens
the
is
floor
when
pan
you-
down with a hammer, so you get a little more.
when you go to over the calibrated amount, it doesn't have a reference point to put the throttle at. So that's what we ran into today. So the ECU was saying 106 throttle. There's no instructions for me to give throttle in that case.
So one short-term solution, what we did is we recalibrated it. As supposed it was reading 106, now it's at 99.8 or 99.9, so it won't over travel.
Yeah.
Doesn't give us the cut, but it'll probably get us through the weekend, but that's probably not something that we're gonna wanna rely on for the future.
Yeah, so we're going to change the design of the pickup of that sensor to use a rotary potentiometer, which is the correct solution for that. Currently, this one uses a linear potentiometer, which is not really a reliable sensor. It tends to be ripped apart really easily and tends to bend really easily. We use them a lot for like damper pots and stuff, but they're really designed for the airfoils on an aircraft. When they lift up, they measure how much travel they have. They're not designed for harsh environments where they're getting pounded. They're designed for slow movements.
That actually rotates in a circle, correct?
The rotary potentiometer is going to be completely enclosed.
Yeah, so you're telling me that my $170 set pedals have potentiometers that is pedal box.
Do you have rotary potentiometers? Yeah. I would say for a sim, it's probably not as critical because the environment's different. Like, let's imagine we're in, so this is right here, this is no throttle. Let's imagine he hits that throttle at a real hard angle. And both of these are bolt heads. Yeah, exactly. So, I don't like that. That would